This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
I've got some great side dishes and salads that I'd love to share with you. Welcome to On the Side.
The side dish I want to share with you today is called Calico beans. This dish is great with a barbecue, and we've been making it in my family for years. Now, the first thing you want to do is get a large skillet and start browning up 1 pound of hamburger. Now, I go for the really lean hamburger for this dish, but you can use whatever you've got on hand. But you do want to start chopping it up, and you want to get it totally browned. Now, while the hamburger is browning, you want to get a 1/2 pound of thick sliced bacon. And what I do is I just run a knife through it. Just cut it in half, stack that on top of each other, and cut, 1/2 to 1 inch slices. That'll be fine. Now, while you're cutting your bacon, if you find that one end has no meat on it, it's just fat, I actually just throw that out. What I'm looking for is a combination of the meat with a little bit of fat to give me that flavoring. Now, when the hamburger is browned, go ahead and pull it off the stove and then just scrape it all into a big bowl. That's what we're going to be using to mix everything up in. Now that pan is free, I'm going to go ahead and take my bacon and put it in there. And at about a medium-high heat, I'm going to start browning off the bacon. And while the bacon is browning, I want to get a large can of baked beans, a can of kidney beans, and a can of either lima or butter beans. I had to go with butter beans because I couldn't find any lima beans in the store today, but they work fine as well. So open them up, and the kidney beans and the butter beans you are going to want to drain. So what I do is I just dump them into a little colander or strainer in my sink and really kind of shake them out because you want to get as much of that liquid out as possible. Now, don't forget to every now and then go back and check on your bacon. You don't want it to burn, but you do want it to get really, really cooked. Now, while the bacon's finishing up, I'm going to take my beans that I've drained. I'm going to put them into the big bowl with the hamburger. And then I'm going to take my large can of baked beans, and I'm going to go ahead and put all of that into the bowl as well. Now the bacon is done, so I'm going to bring that on over, and you'll notice I'm not just dumping it all in. I really don't want all that fat, so I'm just going to take out the bacon itself, kind of strain it a little bit to the side, and then put all those yummy pieces of cooked bacon in with my beans. So as we start getting things put in this big bowl, we need to stop every now and then and give everything a big stir because we want everything to be nice and mixed up. We don't want pockets of bacon or pockets of beans. So go ahead and get your big spoon out, give it a stir, and then let's start adding some more flavor. Now we're going to put in 1 chopped onion. Now you can use any kind of onion you like, red, white, doesn't matter. This is a sweet onion they had at the store today. That's fine. But we are going to want to give it a medium chop. Now, I think sometimes people get a little too quick and they don't dice up their onions quite fine enough, and then people bite in, they have this big piece of onion. So really take the time to get a nice medium chop and then add that into your bowl. Now with these beans, we almost make kind of like a barbecue sauce that goes in here. So to start, we need to get 3/4 cup of lightly packed brown sugar, and we're going to add that to our bowl. And then we're going to get a 1/2 cup of ketchup, and we're going to add that into the bowl as well. Now, instead of a prepared mustard, we're going to use 1 teaspoon of a dry mustard. It gives you more of a mustard concentrate flavor without all the liquid that's added. So we'll go with the dry mustard, about a teaspoon of salt, and then for the acid part of this, we're going to use white vinegar, and we're going to want to use 2 teaspoons of that. And then again, get your big spoon and really give this a good mix up. Now, this is one of the reasons I like to use this big bowl when I'm making something like this, is I want to be able to move everything around, nothing spilling over the edges, but I can get it really, really well mixed. I think that's really important. And then once it is well mixed, we're just going to get a casserole. This is about a 2.5 quart size casserole, and I'm going to put all of those beans and everything right into that. And then I'm going to kind of level it off a little bit and put it into a 350-degree oven uncovered, and we're going to just let that bake and get bubbly for about 1 hour. Then out it comes, and it just smells so great. It's nice and bubbly around the edges, so just pull it right out and set it on the stove. Now, I do like to let this dish sit for just a couple of minutes because it's so scorching hot. But when it's time, just put it on a trivet because it's going to hold that heat in that casserole for quite a while, maybe even up to a half an hour. Now, these Calico beans are great to take to a potluck, and they're a great addition to any barbecue. Now, if you have any leftovers, they also freeze great. I just put them in little containers and pop them in the freezer. Enjoy!
If you'd like to get any of the recipes for any of these great side dishes or salads, go to our website at www.harwoodpodcast.com. Also, if you've got any questions or ideas for me, send me an email. I'll see you next time.